Good day, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILEcast on Westnile television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day every day. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, police In the headlines tonight, police in North Westnile region received training on human trafficking prevention. NGOs in Gulu City equip juveniles with hand skill knowledge in Gulu City. And Speaker Among and Forum for Democratic Change mourned the former Erute North MP Charles Angiro Gutumoy. This and more in the NILEcast News Bulletin. In the headlines tonight, police in North Westnile region received training on human trafficking prevention. NGOs in Gulu City equip juveniles with hand skill knowledge in Gulu City. And Speaker Among and Forum for Democratic Change mourned the former Erute North MP Charles Angiro Gutumoy. This and more in the NILEcast News Bulletin. Good day again, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILEcast on Westnile television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. Police in North Westnile region received training on human trafficking prevention organized by the Ministry of Internal Affairs under the Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons with a vision of a free Uganda from all forms of human trafficking. The training attracted officers from the 3 districts of the North Westnile region, namely Moyo, Ajimani and Obongi districts. Okumu Dominic reports more.
The training organized by the Ministry of Internal Affairs under Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons with the vision of a free Uganda from all forms of human trafficking, which is aimed at initiating, developing, carrying out and supporting the national measures to counter and respond to trafficking of persons in Uganda, was given to the police officers and the community liaison officers by the Commissioner of Police, Tuinomujuni Julius, the national coordinator from the Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons. Superintendent of Police Dragudu Ignatius, the police public relations officer for Northwest Nile region, said the training is aimed at strengthening the capability of the officers in investigating the cases of human trafficking in Northwest Nile region.
This training is to strengthen the capability of the police in investigating the cases of human trafficking in Northwest Nile region. And this one will avoid officers in gambling issues in offices, so that they will know where which step to be taken concerning the case of human trafficking in Northwest Nile region.
Commissioner of Police Tuinomujuni Julius said most of the human trafficking cases happen locally within Uganda, and everyone is a potential victim, and in one way or the other we are all suspects because human beings are never satisfied with what they have.
All human trafficking basically is taking people abroad. And sometimes when we are investigating, when we are talking to our officers, the moment you talk about human trafficking, somebody will tell you, the scared away. For me, I'm not going abroad. I'm just within. But today you are going to realize that most of it takes place domestically. And our report of last year is catering for more than 80%. The crime is being committed just within Uganda. But as we are going to look at what it means, you are going to realize that you are a potential victim, and in one way or another, you are a suspect. Are we together? We are all potential victims because a human being is never satisfied with what you have. Even if they are on your salary, even if they triple it 4 times 10 today, somebody will come and tell you, I have a better job for you, and you fall a victim.
The training that lasted the whole day also gave chance for the officials to ask questions and seek clarifications concerning human trafficking, and their questions were responded to. Ms. Aserua Konsi Fiona, one of the participants who represented the office of the Community Development Officer Moyo, said she has learnt a lot from the training because in this country there has been a lot of trafficking of persons and people didn't know the procedures to follow once such vices happen in our communities.
In our country, we have been having issues of child trafficking, human trafficking, but we don't know how to follow the procedures. Like when these issues happen in our localities, in our communities, most we keep quiet, and that way we are really killing the image of our innocent children. So I encourage the communities outside there, let's be working, because this issue of human trafficking mostly is caused by idleness. People don't work to work. Let's be working so that we utilize the little we have maximum.
The training attracted officers from the 3 districts in the North Westnile region, namely Moyo, Adjumani and Obongi districts. Trafficking of persons is a global human rights concern which is perpetrated by people or agents who want to take advantage of others in order to satisfy their own personal, family or business interest. The crime is happening in many parts of the country, affecting both children and adults, and requires combined effort to avert the vice. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu reporting from Moyo.
More in our stories for the evening. At least a total of 142 juvenile children who are serving at Gulu Remand Home are being equipped with various skills. The Rotary Club Gulu, Don Bosco, Avis and Hashtag Gulu are among the partners currently preparing these juvenile, both in vocational, agricultural and recreational activities like music and drawing. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports more.
During his visit to Gulu Remand Home today, Gulu Archdiocese Bishop John Baptist Odama inspect and blessed different interventions by development partners at Gulu Remand Home.
Thank you. Very good, very good.
It was a memorable moment full of blessing as these stakeholders shared light moment with Bishop Odama. In behalf of the elders, Gulu Archdiocese Bishop John Baptist Odama apologized to the juveniles serving at Gulu Remand Home, saying it was their fault as elders that led them to the remand home.
I have to apologize on behalf of the elders because they, as children, they would not learn anything if they did not see it from us elders. Whether we are the parents or we are leaders, whichever group, these people must have learned some of the wrong ways of doing things from us.
Edward Kakembo Nusubuga, the district governor, Rotary, District 9213, pledged to work together with Gulu Remand Home and other partners in recreating these juveniles.
There are no jobs in this country. There is a high unemployment rate. So because of this golden opportunity, when they get skills here, they can go home and transform them and start earning.
Agnes Amon, education specialist at AFC Foundation, says, "Say project, which is currently being implemented by AFC Foundation, will address the question of reuniting these children to their community as they will go back home, exchange passions."
We have a high population of young people, yet the work is not there. And that is why we are seeing young people on the street, the so-called ago. These street kids are doing a lot of havoc in this city, and also at the end of it all, they find themselves here.
Joseph Musasizi, Hosi Gulu Remand Home, expressed his gratitude to all the development partners who has extended their hands to support the remand home, saying their involvement is to better the life of these children.
These are partners who come to really join hands to see how we move forward with the skilling program of the juveniles. I want to inform you that once these programs are available to them, we shall have a brighter future for them.
Guru Remand Home served the entire 8th district of Acholi sub-region, and in the recent past, the Remand Home have been grappling with the issue of funding, which called for more partners to come on board.
He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow.
Stephen Okello for Westnile Television, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories for the evening. Ministry of Local Government has confirmed that they will conduct a fresh reaffirmation exercise along the disputed border between Terego and Madiokolo districts after the authorities of Madiokolo district rejected the reports for the third time over unrevealed reasons. This follows a petition by the Terego district officials to the ministry of their silence and their continued conflicts along the borders, which has impacted negatively on service delivery. Frederick Dramadri reports.
Officials from Terego district have petitioned the Ministry of Local Government over the delayed declaration of the reaffirmation exercise on the disputed border between Terego and Mariokolo districts that was conducted in 2021 to put to an end the border conflict between the districts. In September 2021, the Department of Surveys and Mappings from Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development carried out a reaffirmation exercise on the disputed border between Terego and Mariokolo districts on orders of the Local Government Ministry in the presence of both local authorities in the districts, in which they fixed pillars as part of the reaffirmation exercise to demarcate the border. But all these were removed by unknown persons over yet to be identified reasons. Since the creation of Terego district by the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda in 2020, the conflict that has lasted for over 20 years, according to leaders, was further escalated, affecting 5 villages along the border lines and paralyzing service delivery for both refugees and host communities in the conflict zone. Santa Ikoro, the leader of government business in Terego district local government, blames the Ministry of Local Government and that of Lands, Housing and Urban Development for being quiet over the matter.
Every day we put our trust that we are continuing with our development issues. You receive call from the boundary, the border. 5 houses from Terego were attacked by Madiokolo because of the boundary.
Wilfred Saka, the district chairman Terego, revealed that 3 schools have been paralyzed by the conflict as children are not now studying and participating in co-curricular activities.
Schools that have been receiving capitation grant through Terego, the old last financial year, all of a sudden starting to receive money from Madiokolo. And the schools have been running without money. The children never participated in athletics. Sometimes you go to the schools, there is no job.
Ward Cassiano Izati, a former member of parliament for Terego County, recounts that this is not the first time Ministry of Local Government and Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development are keeping the 2 districts in conflict situation in order to retard development for the people of the areas.
The commissioner himself came and went to open the boundaries without the involvement of a rural district survey department, so as to be impartial. And the results were the same. And that was during my term of office. And these results were communicated to the district leadership, to the office of the RDC, and all these sub-counties through a written report. And thereafter, still the report was disputed by Mariokolo. Even after I left Terego, again another team of surveyors came from the ministry and they issued the same report. Unfortunately, even the survey stone marks were removed, I think a day or 2 thereafter, and no action was taken as far as government's responsibility is concerned. And that is the reason why Why we are saying government seems to have an interest in hand. I think, Mr. Commissioner, you need to appreciate and understand that you technocrats are also fearing to take a decision because of obvious reasons. So the challenge is in your corridors. You as a ministry, through the office of the Prime Minister, must implement what the technical arm of government has already delivered.
Similarly, Obiga Kania, the Member of Parliament for Terego East constituency, raised concerns over the delayed dissemination of the reports and tasked the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development to expedite the processes of resolving the conflict.
I've talked to you about this issue of the border many times between Mali and Terego. You have refused to solve it. I've talked to the Prime Minister about this. The Prime Minister directed that the Minister should come here and go to the border and resolve this issue. Why don't you want to solve this problem? You want bloodshed fast? Running schools, there is a problem. The PDM problem in that area is no longer running. We don't know where the money should go and where the local people should apply for the border for the money.
In response, Mujema Shuizen, the Commissioner of Local Council's Development in the Ministry of Local Government, noted that Madiokolo District Local Government expressed dissatisfaction over the recent reaffirmation exercise conducted by Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, and as a ministry, they have resolved to redo the exercise in which they will involve all the local governments to participate.
The colonial boundaries must never be tampered with. So the Terego of the old time, its coordinates of Terego County are the ones that comprise the district of Terego. The boundaries of Madi Okolo of the colonial time is the configuration of Madi Okolo district. And the good thing, coordinates do not rot. So people who want to twist and go against the position of the coordinates, certainly that cannot be sustained. We already have an issue of a report that is being contested by one party, and we want to do a joint exercise where Terego will participate together with Madi Okolo. We will have a joint team of surveys. There's no district that has no surveyor. We will ask them to select their, each of the districts to select their team, put them together, and have a transparent activity of opening the boundaries, and a declaration will be done.
Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has for the third time done reaffirmation exercise on the disputed border between Terego and Madiokolo districts on orders of Ministry of Local Government. In 2004, the exercise was conducted by a team of surveyors from the ministry, but authorities from Madi County by intent under the Arua district rejected the outcome of this report on accounts that the surveyor was a citizen from Terego district, while in 2008, another team of surveyors were sent from the headquarters to conduct the reaffirmation exercise, whose reports were not disseminated as both local governments claim. While in 2021, another reaffirmation exercise was conducted, and the results have not officially been published by the ministry to resolve the conflict that is affecting service delivery in the two local governments. Frederick Tamatri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. The Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Anita Anetamong, is mourning the loss of the former Irute North Member of Parliament, Angiro Gitumoy, who died in a fatal accident on his way to a traditional marriage ceremony. Gitumoy was travelling with 3 others when the driver lost control and crashed in Maction 4 Game Park. The Speaker of Parliament praised Gitumoy for his eloquent He was an eloquent lawmaker who was passionate about education, health, and social well-being. And now with that, let us move to the sports news with our sports anchor, Owen Ezaka.
Welcome for all the sports news. My name is Owen Izaga. And in today's sports news, newly appointed Onduparaka Football Club President Afeti Tony had his first meeting with the fans on July 7th, 2023. Issues discussed in the meeting were all about how the club will be running this season. Let's have more in the compiled story. Onduparaka Football Club on 6 July 2023 confirmed the appointment of Afeti Tony as their new club president after rejoining the club from Arua Hill Sports Club in the middle of last season. Tony, who formerly worked at the club as the club CEO and later as the operations manager, was announced 2 days after the club's stakeholders meeting where they presented their new management structures. Tony now takes over from Benjamin Nyakuni, the former club president who has the majority share of 60% in the club. In an interview with Afeti Tony, he explained how it's a tough task to take.
I didn't see this coming from the board, but actually it's something that I've been into for a long time. I can't say I am going to reject the position, but it's a big task for me. It's a very big task for me, being a CEO then to the club president, where all decisions are going to be taken by you. And everybody under the club is going to be under you means a lot to me, because it's something that I should refresh my mind so much about to start running the club. For the excitement, I can't say I'm so excited about the position. I can't even celebrate through a party because of it, but it's a huge task because we know where we are at the moment right now, being in big league, and we need to come back because we're not a big league material. So I don't think there's an excitement time for me, rather than work and see how we put everything together to see that the team will be performing in big league and come back so as soon. The strategies are quite lengthy because if we start explaining, it's not a one-year thing, it's a 5-year strategic plan, because I came up with that because being in big league, because our main target right now should be a short term, though I'd come up with a 5-year strategic plan for the club. However, I want to emphasize so much on the short term big league because it's all our focus. It's all our focus as Onduparaka team and the fans at large. I know everybody is yelling to see that we come back in the league, and this is something that I can't do alone. As in previously, my statements that I make out there, managing a football club is not an easy business. However, those who have happened to invest their monies in it can really confess, and those who have worked under the clubs can really tell. But I know under the support of the fans and the entire board of Onduparaka, if we are to collectively come together, I don't think we shall fail our target as to get promoted into the Premier League next season. Basically, we've come out with one unity strategy whereby everybody is going to contribute towards this club, whether you're a fan, whether a stakeholder, whether you're anybody, as long as you're a fan and you really love the club. Because in the previous years, I've seen community clubs being drained financially because they lack sponsors, and when you look through their fan base, they have enough resources to run the clubs if they plan well. Because the club I'm working for right now has a lot of fan base. The huge fan base hasn't been tapped in, so this is the most important area that I want to look at, because one of the things that I'm coming up with is membership registration. Within these membership registrations, we're going to have packages that also the fans are going to benefit from. Let me give an example of one package, because we're going to have 4 categories. Let's assume somebody falls under the category of platinum, which goes for 1 million. If you go for a 1 million package, you are entitled to aspire to be a board member. You're entitled to aspire to be a board member of the club. Then You have other benefits like getting the 3 attires of the club, official club jerseys, the 3 of them. Then you also get a polo t-shirt from the club, branded. Then you also get a wristband plus a round collared shirt. So if you see, basically it's a giveaway situation. You're benefiting, you're aspiring to be a board member. That means you're directly involved in this key decision takings in the club, under the board or through the board. Then you're entitled to sit for the club AGM seasonally. That means you have a higher stake of convincing or maybe pledging in your ideas for the club to follow. So that's a big task for me to convince you to pay the 1 million. For that 1 million, the benefits come to you as overdue process. In your 1 million, you're going to get a membership card. Out of that membership card, it also comes with a get fee. So meaning every game that Onduparaka will be playing in big league, you're accessing it for free. It's just a matter of swiping your ID at the gate and enter, sit comfortably and enjoy the game. That's a chip of the strategy that I've come with. I'm not saying it's only 1 million. There are other stakes. There's going to be 500, there's going to be 350, there's going to also be 200. So whoever fills his pocket weighs a million, 500, 350 or 200. We don't chase money. But our main motive and target is to see that this club gets finances to run its activities in the big league. Initially, as I said, this club is no longer coming in a one-man decision making. The reason why we have called these funds is to see publicly whether our strategies are meant to be implemented or revisited to overview to see how we strategize again, or how fast can we push for finances. It's not that we've called them for other activities, but it's just a share of the strategies that are laid, and also see that we look at how effective we can run this club for 5 years without financial challenges. You know, sometimes you may be sitting here, but people have good ideas there. So the best idea that I came with is to start involving people who have these ideas. We see them, pen them on a table, and try to revisit them as the board. You know, if we did this and this, what would happen for the club in the next this and this years? So this is not an activity-oriented meeting. It's just a cup of tea with the fans. It's not every fan, but a few of them have been invited to represent others. We shall have an overview meeting with everybody later on and see how we also pass on the information that we come out of this meeting today.
He broke down how the new structures of this club shall run in the new season and thanked the fans for the support.
Let me say the board is not a position whereby we're going to employ people or go out there, get them and say, no, it's consultative. We need to consult these people who are supposed to be appointed on the board. And which board is supposed to be appointed from the fans who are doing the registration. So that may become a vacant position because we're still looking through people who have registered. Then we are still going to assess people who are able to sit with the club when meetings are called. You know, you need to give time for the club when there is a board meeting. It's a very critical moment because decisions are always taken there. The other positions, because if you appoint the president will appoint the CEO who does his administrative selections as well. Meaning the immediate appointment of the president was to oversee that he's able to appoint his CEO who is going to appoint the other workers. So it's a hierarchy of appointment. So we cannot appoint everybody at once. We appoint the president. After appointing the president will appoint his CEO, because the CEO is not supposed to be appointed by the board. It is the president who appoints a CEO with his ethics of working. So if the CEO is appointed, it is his role to see that his administration is also appointed. The finance personnel, the marketing, the media, and so forth. So that's the role of the CEO, to appoint the other workers. So meaning maybe the next appointment can be the CEO. After the CEO, the rest of the administration is appointed. For now, the board can't because of some reasons that we need to first get the registrations. After the registrations, we get the board members from these people who have subscribed. You get my point? Yeah. To Onduparaka fans, you're not mine. I am very humbled that you guys gave me the trust to work as the club president. I don't know, the excitement is there a little internally because I've not yet given back. But in this due process, there's going to be transition. There are going to be a lot of changes because we want to do things authentically, whereby we shall have proper management of the club with a strategic planning. We're not going to run things on just a silver plate.
Not only being excited, Onduparaka FC is well known for its passionate fans who always wish the best and progress for the club. Here are some of the fans who gave us their expectation about the new management.
About my new club president, that's Mr. Appetitoni. Actually now His Excellency Appetitoni. As a staunch fan, I feel great, and I feel that with the new president, the club will take more steps, and we believe with the new appointment, we're going back to the Premier League, because as a fan, I believe he has experience, and he has all it takes to bring the club back to the first elite of the league. He of course has a new club president. We expect the president to bridge the gap between the fans and the management, and also to bring in the sense of ownership of the club in the fans themselves, and again also to come up with new and better technical team for the club, so that the fans will enjoy a new football style and football leadership which will come up with for the club. And also we hope in him that new players will come in and Onduparaka can be branded again like before. That's all what we need from the new club president.
About new president, yeah, we are good to go. I don't see something bad with that, and I haven't seen something bad with him ever since he stepped in, and I hope we are going to bounce back stronger, and truly we are going to come back to Uganda Premier League. Football is a game, and yeah, it's a journey. We will strongly bounce back. We are okay. I myself, we are expecting unity, transparency, and being a fan being a president doesn't mean that like we should expect something much from it's a unity and transparency.
Imagine I want to buy a player in Onduparaka at 25 million. How much budget do I have for recruitment? Around 110 million. As we are speaking now, he said the club is in our hands. The club is in our hands. If this club is to go away, there are a lot of things we lose as Westnile. The pride, because to be sincere, when you're introducing yourself, people are coming from Japan,
Onduparaka Football Club joined Uganda Premier League in 2016 and have since maintained themselves in the league until their relegation in 2023 and are gearing up preparations towards participating in the big league this season. Owen Ezaga, Linda Suzy, Westnile TV, Nilecast. Uganda senior women national team needed a goal to Uganda senior women national team just needed a goal to come back into victory after playing a friendly match with Tanzania yesterday at Uganda senior women national team needed to come down from a goal down after playing a game with Tanzania in a friendly match at Lugogo Philip Omondi Stadium. However, the spirited performance saw Catherine Nagadia, Matters level, and at the same time Faiza Najemba, who also doubled the game for that is Uganda. Let's have more from the coaches and the players.
First of all, I congratulate for winners Uganda for this game, and then my girls for what they did in this game. So we took lead in second minutes, I think. And then we struggle a lot because Ugandans, they press us very, very high in the game. So then they equalize in 27th minute. So all of us, in second half, we take the games very good and play in our style of play. And 4 minutes before finishing the games, what I want to say to an individual mistakes for our players. So we allow 2 goals and the game ended by 3-1. So all of us, I take this chance to congratulate for my girls, especially J's number 7, best player of the under 15 women's CAF. So she played in first match in senior team today, and she did very well in this game. Even though there's about 7 players of under 17 team who played in India World Cup played here today. So to me, I appreciate with performance of my girls, and I hope maybe we'll do better.
Thank you so much. I would like to say it was a wonderful, timely, friendly. That has had very many positives for me as I move towards the Rwanda game. We so much want to emphasize the issue of playing the ball. Actually, sometimes the rhythm is picked as you continue playing, but I think we never started so slow, maybe just because we conceded early. But even conceding, I think it was on one side that could help us to check ourselves, not being so confident, and that is how we picked up the pace.
The game has been good, and we've tried to play what the coaches have been giving us at the field. I think as players we are progressing each and every day, and we've tried to display what we've been getting in training. We've tried to score goals, though defending as a team it is still a problem to us, but hopefully we're going to make it right. With more practice matches, I guess we're going to give our best, and we're going to win all the games, and we're going to qualify. We promise we're going to qualify.
Uganda was returning to active football after a year in limbo. The time Uganda Crested Cranes played their last game was before 8th July 2022 against Burkina Faso at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. With that marks the end of our story in sports. My name is Owen Ezaga, Nilecast, right here every Mondays to Saturdays. We'll always be giving you the best courtesy of the sports right here. A very blessed night.